In today's episode, we will be talking about some difficult topics related to Bulgaria. So stay with me and let's get started. Can someone explain me? Because I can't understand why people would do something like this. Like, why? Why it was so hard to just take a bag after oneself and just like leave it at appropriate place. Like, how long it's gonna to take for nature to cover up all this shit? Like, why people even would do something like this? Like, why? Why is so hard, so difficult to just bring it back to a place? Like, why? Bulgaria has quite a serious problem with waste, I have to say. Basically, in the large part of the country, for some reason, people throw the trash wherever instead of, I don't know, just leave it at the designated places or just like take the rubbish behind themselves. It's not everywhere like this, of course, but unfortunately, it is something common. And even in the area where I live, which is like a kind of wild area, you may find places where are tons of rubbish. That's really sad. It's pretty alarming, but well, that's the reality. And I have to say, I don't like it. I do what I can. I pick up the trash if I find in my area, but yeah. So before you actually buy a property, you will need to explore your area and make sure that there is no this kind of stuff, somewhere nearby, because I don't think you would like to live next to a trash. Yes, the amount of rubbish in Bulgaria is, I mean, very bad. There are rubbish everywhere, and that's really sad, because it's such a beautiful nature, but doesn't matter where you go, how wild it is, you're gonna find like tons of rubbish almost practically everywhere, and no one seems to be doing something about that. And yeah, I walked with my dogs yesterday and it wasn't here. That's fucking disgusting, I have to say. Like, really, because the container for the rubbish is just like maybe 100 meters away from here. What a pigs, I swear. Like, what a pigs. That is just unbelievable. Bureaucracy. Yeah, that's the very interesting part. The Bulgarian bureaucracy is very bad, and I had already told in one of my episodes that if you can, try to avoid Bulgarian bureaucracy at any cost. If there is a chance that you can avoid it, just avoid it. So I'd like to tell you one of my story. Maybe not really related to like fixing something related to the property, but It was about losing an ID. So a few years ago, I lost my Bulgarian ID, and and it took me over 1 month to get a new one issued. Yeah, 1 month. And I had to go to the police station almost every day for about 2 weeks. 2 weeks, every day, just to find out after those 2 weeks that the person responsible for my case was actually on a sick leave. Can you imagine? Nobody had been competent enough to inform me of the details that guy was on the sick leave. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I kept showing up every day, waiting for about an hour each time, until finally, after 2 weeks, someone noticed me and asked me what I was doing there every day. Yeah, there was a guy, that came up and he said just like, "Hey man, like I can see you I see you every day sitting here, and just like, are you waiting for someone, or like, what's the problem?" And it turned out that the guy in charge of my case was on the sick leave the whole time, and I had just been waiting around because some other staff member at the station kept telling me he would be right there with me. Yeah. So yeah, I'm laughing about that right now, but it wasn't funny at the time because I was without my Bulgarian ID for over 1 month, so I couldn't go to the migration office to just issue a new one. Yeah, but that's not the end of the story, because there is the second part of this story, my friends. And after about 1 month, when I got my new Bulgarian ID, I was driving my car and the police stopped me. Yeah. They asked me for my ID, so I just like show them, that ID. And after a moment, I noticed like the officer who took my ID called another officer over, and he whispered something to him, and I was just like, okay, something isn't right. Do you know what I mean? Just like, something definitely isn't right. And then the officer came back to me with a kind of suspicious tone and asked me if I had recently gotten a new ID or something like that by any chance, but it was just like kind of very suspicious way. And I said just like, yeah, I lost my ID like a month ago, and I waited about like 1 month to get a new one. So what's the problem here, And it turned out that my new ID hadn't been entered into the systems. So basically my ID was like illegal. But luckily the police officer was just like really kind and really nice, and he just let me go. He said just like, oh, okay, yeah, it happens in Bulgaria, so don't worry about that. I'm sure they will fix it soon, and he let me go. I don't think it would be a case in any other country, if you know what I mean. Like, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. In Bulgaria is this kind of like relax, like even if the law exists, it's not like being executed in every possible way. Because if something like this happened to me in any other country, maybe not every other, but in most of the countries, they would just like stop me and take me to the police station, So see, like a Bulgarian police officer realize about the problem, inside the country. So yeah, so that was a funny story, and and there is the third thing that people don't like about Bulgaria. And just to add a final saying about the corruption, yeah, everybody knows that there is a pretty big corruption in Bulgaria, but I have to say that corruption is something common in European Union, and corruption is really a problem everywhere. It just appears, how to put it, in less or more formal way, if you know what I mean. So if it appears in the unofficial form, then it's nicely backed up with the regulation, documentation, and so in the in the eye of the law, it just looks like kind of a regular rule. So yeah, like that's the thing, and so don't take it like oh, there is very big corruption in Bulgaria and so on, so on. I have to say that sometimes, having this and knowing right people, it is easier to fix something than fixing something in any other country in European Union. If you know what I mean, like if you expand my thoughts, you will understand what I'm saying, what I mean. So yeah, so again, it's good having friends. It's good to have a lot of friends in Bulgaria, because you never know who are you going to meet and what that particular person can help you with. I didn't want this episode to sound super offensive against Bulgaria, if you know what I mean. But that was two, I have to say, things I don't really like about it. As far as I can live with the second one, it's hard to live with the first one, yeah, like trash and so on. But well, you can't have everything. There's no perfect country in this world. Yeah. So beside of these two issues that I'm not really happy about, there are thousands that I love about Bulgaria, and yeah. So thank you very much for staying till the end of this episode. Next week probably I will have for you something special, because I found really nice place. I went there yesterday, but I haven't really had a time to take a proper shots because it was quite late. I had to go to vet with my dog, so I just sacrificed lots of time for different things. And yeah, I hope I'll have more time next week, so I'll definitely go there to make a video about make a detailed video about this area for you next week. So peace, stay safe, and I'll see you probably next week.